Imagine this. You have a big project due tomorrow, and you've known about it for weeks. You know you need to finish what you started, but you've been dreading it because it's something that doesn't interest you, or maybe you're anxious about the presentation, thinking to yourself, what if I forget what to say and say the wrong thing? So to make yourself feel better, you begin to scroll on social media, watch videos, or maybe even clean your room. Anything but work on that project. Sound familiar? I bet it does, but you're not alone. This is a classic case of procrastination, a challenge that affects everyone at some point in their lives. But why do we procrastinate? Why do we often put off tasks even when we know it goes against our goals and well-being? Is it simply a lack of discipline, or is there something deeper at play? Well, I'll be covering the psychology of procrastination, and later on in the video, I'll reveal the hidden reasons behind procrastination. So make sure to stick to the end, and welcome to the Mind's Thoughts. Neither a wise man nor a brave man lies down on the tracks of history to wait for the train of the future to run over him. Dwight D. Eisenhower. Procrastination is something we all grapple with at some points. It's a sneaky force that keeps us from starting or finishing tasks, often leading us to stress and regrets. But what really is procrastination? Have you ever bothered yourself to ask that question? Obviously, it's needing to do something, but not doing it by either distracting yourself, not prioritizing it, or by being too lazy or bored to be bothered by it, right? Well, most people think that procrastination is just about being lazy or avoiding work, but it's much more complicated than that. But it's just about habits, I can hear you say. Well, here's the twist. Procrastination isn't just about habits. It's an emotional coping mechanism, a way to deal with negative emotions like anxiety, fear of failure, and self-doubt. When faced with a challenging task, our brain seeks comfort and relief, often finding it in activities that are easy and enjoyable but ultimately unproductive. It's a battle between our present self, who seeks immediate gratification, and our future self, who values long-term rewards. It's a clash of emotions, fears, and habits that shape our daily lives. Imagine you're about to start a challenging project. As you think about the effort required, doubt creeps in. What if you can't do it well? What if you fail? These thoughts trigger anxiety, and to avoid this discomfort, you decide to put off the task. Instead, you engage in something less stressful, something easy like watching a TV show or scrolling through social media. This provides a quick hit of dopamine, momentarily making you feel better. Another common emotional trigger is perfectionism. When we set unrealistically high standards for ourselves, the fear of not meeting them can be paralyzing. This fear often leads to avoidance, as starting a task would confront us with our imperfections. We delay action, convincing ourselves we'll tackle it later when we're more prepared or in the right mindsets. Then there's the issue of motivation. We are naturally inclined to seek pleasure and avoid pain. We follow the path of least resistance. Tasks that are boring, difficult, or lacking in immediate reward are easy targets for procrastination. Our brains are wired to prioritize short-term gratification over long-term goals, making it challenging to stay focused on tasks that don't offer instant rewards. Understanding these emotional triggers is crucial because procrastination is not a character flaw, but a natural response to discomfort. By acknowledging this, we can start to address the root causes rather than merely trying to force ourselves to work through sheer willpower. So procrastination is more emotional than anything else, which is why logic alone doesn't work against it. So then how can we rid ourselves of procrastination to take control of our time and lives? Well, let's take a look into the emotional and psychological reasons behind procrastination. Different situations can help us understand these complex dynamics better. Let's take Sarah, a college student with a passion for writing. She dreams of becoming a published author someday. However, every time she sits down to work on her manuscript, she finds herself scrolling through social media or binge watching her favorite series. Why does she procrastinate on something she loves? For Sarah, the roots of her procrastination lies in fear. Fear of not being good enough, fear of rejection, and fear of the unknown. Each time she thinks about writing, these fears bubble up, causing anxiety. To escape these uncomfortable feelings, she turns to activities that provide immediate comforts and distraction. Now, consider John, a software developer working at a fast-paced tech company. John has a major project deadline approaching, but instead of making progress, he finds himself organizing his desk, checking emails, and doing other low-priority tasks. John's procrastination is driven by perfectionism. He sets such high standards for his work that the thought of starting and potentially not meeting those standards is paralyzing. By focusing on smaller, less significant tasks, he avoids the risk of failure, but at the cost of delaying his important work. Then there's Lisa, a marketing professional who struggles with procrastination due to her lack of motivation. She's assigned to a project that doesn't excite her. and she can't find the energy to begin. Instead, she spends hours daydreaming and browsing the internet. Lisa's scenario highlights how a lack of interest and passion for a task can lead to procrastination. When we don't feel connected to the work, our brain seeks out more stimulating and enjoyable activities. In all of these cases, procrastination serves as a coping mechanism, a way to avoid discomforts and negative emotions. But recognizing these triggers is the first step towards overcoming them. So then, what are some strategies to solve this? For Sarah, addressing the underlying fears is crucial. She could start by setting small, manageable goals for her writing, like just writing a paragraph instead of a page, allowing herself to write without judgment or expectation. Joining a supported writing group can also help her gain confidence and reduce the fear of failure. Embracing a growth mindset, understanding the mistakes are part of the learning process, can also help John overcome his perfectionism. For Lisa, finding ways to make her work more engaging is key. She could connect her tasks to her larger career goals, seek out aspects on the project that interest her, or even set up a reward system to boost motivation. Sometimes, simply starting with a small, easy task can create momentum and make the entire project feel more manageable. Another powerful strategy is to implement time management techniques, like the Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. This can help create a sense of urgency and make tasks feel less overwhelming. By understanding the emotional roots of procrastination and applying these strategies, we can start to break free from its grip. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection. Every small step you take towards overcoming procrastination is a victory in itself. Now that we've gone over some examples, what can we actually do to overcome procrastination and unlock your full potential? Well, you can begin by reframing your mindset. To move from a fixed mindset which lets procrastination thrive to a growth mindset which knows that procrastination is cope, start by changing the way you perceive challenges and setbacks. Instead of viewing them as these huge obstacles, see them as opportunities for growth and learning. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Embrace the idea that efforts and perseverance can lead to improvements. For example, Sarah can reframe her fear of not being good enough by acknowledging that every draft, no matter how rough, is a step toward becoming a better writer. For more information on reframing your mindset, you can check out the videos I've done up top. Number 2, set specific achievable goals. Break down your tasks into smaller, manageable goals. This helps to reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed and makes it easier to track progress. John can divide his major project into smaller tasks, each with its own deadline. By celebrating small wins, he can build momentum and stay motivated. Number 3, develop a routine. Establishing a consistent routine can help you create a habit of productivity. Designate specific times for focused work sessions and stick to them. For Lisa, setting a daily schedule that includes dedicated work periods and regular breaks can make her tasks feel more structured and less daunting. Number 4, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when you encounter setbacks or failures. Instead of harshly criticizing yourself, practice self-compassion. Understand that mistakes are part of the learning process. When Sarah feels discouraged about her writing, she can remind herself that every writer experiences setbacks and that persistence is key to improvement. Number 5, seek feedback and supports. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback from peers, mentors, or coaches. Constructive criticism can provide valuable insights and help you identify areas for improvements. John can seek advice from colleagues or mentors to gain new perspectives on his project. Additionally, joining communities or groups with similar goals can offer support and encouragement, like a book club to read more or a fitness group within the gym. Number 6, visualize success. Visualization can be a powerful tool for motivation and confidence. Spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself successfully completing your tasks and achieving your goals. Picture the sense of accomplishment and the positive outcomes that will follow. Lisa can visualize herself completing her project and receiving recognition for your hard work, which can boost her motivation. Number 7, reflect and adapt. Regularly reflect on your progress and adjust your strategies as needed. Keep a journal to track your achievements, challenges, and insights. This practice helps you to stay mindful of your growth and areas that need improvements. John can review his progress at the end of each week and make adjustments to his approach if necessary. By implementing these strategies, reframing your mindset, setting specific achievable goals, developing a routine, practicing self-compassion, seeking feedback and support, visualizing success, and reflecting and adapting, you can break free from the cycle of procrastination. But remember, it takes time. but every small step counts. Embrace the process, stay persistent, and celebrate your progress along the way. And don't forget that perfection is the enemy of progress. The key to overcoming procrastination and unlocking your full potential lies in shifting your mindsets. But what if you don't know how to shift your mindsets? Well, I've made a series of videos detailing how you can go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, which is almost necessary nowadays. Click the video on screen to learn more, and let's continue our journey of being eternal students.